Hi everyone, welcome to Coffee Brew with Vratika. We have Sussanne Khan in the house today, and Sussanne is a phenomenal interior designer. She studied in interior design, and she also has a brand called the Charcoal Project, which she started in 2011. I know Sussanne needs no introduction. This was just my little bit of an effort to introduce her. Over to you, Sussanne, a little bit about your journey, and we take it from there.
Thank you, Vratika. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this. And well, I want to say that I have been extremely a very curious mind from a very young age of like literally 5 and 6, and the time when I was completely bewildered and with the world of design, because all these magazines, my mom was an interior designer and these magazines used to come to my house.
Yeah.
And I was a kid in those days. So I used to look at these Architectural Digest and, Home Beautiful magazines.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I used to think that, oh my God, I just want to be in this magazine.
Wow.
Designing these homes. And that was my first kind of introduction into the world of design in regard to interior design. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So I happen to be a great fan of Sussanne's work. I don't know, I just feel that the way you think, the way you create drama and monumental pieces in your designs, I have always appreciated it from distance and very closely with you whenever we speak. So very happy to have you here, Sussanne.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Coming from you with so much of panache and taste and aesthetic.
Thank you.
It's a huge compliment to me.
Truly
Vratika.
A pleasure to have you.
And I really feel very happy that we have met.
Yes, same here. Yes.
And I think that this is a new journey to a lot of exciting things.
A lot of stuff, yes.
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to start with my questions now, and we have a very
Sure.
interesting rapid fire towards the end, which is a surprise, absolute go for you. Let's see how we could do that. So my first question to you is that if you could design a home for any fictional or historical character, who would it be, and what unique features would you include?
So I think that the first name that pops into my head is Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
If I had to go back in time and design Leonardo da Vinci's
House. Oh my God.
Can you imagine what
true master?
What a treat that would be.
Phenomenal.
Firstly, it would be the hugest challenge because he is like the most iconic design mind, the way he puts together color and proportion. And, I have always been a huge fan of that era and that time. And I think that bringing a space together with a mind like that, I would definitely want to introduce a lot of warm palette tones of what he does in his paintings and his in his art. But I think that he would be quite edgy chic. Like he would also be very rustic and not only polished and proper, because an artist's mind would also have a
that's
kind
his
of
character,
combination of a little madness in it. So I think that to have a little bit of something that's more not so like more eclectically mixed and more interestingly put together. I think that kind of story for him would be interesting.
Amazing. And I can imagine your monumental touches going there. It will be a beautiful mix, I must say.
I think that would be interesting. Yeah.
And what's a common interior design rule that you think is outdated and you're like, this needs to be challenged now? What do you think?
So I think that the one rule which should be challenged, I think it's high time it's challenged, that it's important to keep your palette always light colors.
I agree. Yeah.
So
that's a lot. Like that's 90% of the homes you would see.
As a design mind, I understand where the client or where the family is thinking from in regard to that, because they think that a light colored palette, like whether it's whites or whether it is very light grays, all that kind of like opens up the space and creates a feeling of expanse and largeness, you know. But I also feel that sometimes it's strange, but sometimes if with a interesting color play, deeper tones and deeper earth tones, maybe you can really add more perspective
and depth.
And also have the challenge of creating warmth to your, because what happens is that sometimes, like when we have a palette which is very whites and colds and neutrals, your to create warmth is difficult.
Challenge,
it's a little difficult. But I also think that, having said that, it depends on the geography of where the house is situated, whether it is on the beach, whether it is in a high-rise apartment, whether it is in the mountains.
That's very beautiful.
So I think depending on the location, what is your view when you look out of the window? What is what surrounds you? I think that is the first starting point of how you should choose your palette.
I think I really love that. I mean, and I feel very few people start there. And if you could start there, you could really do justice to the whole plan.
And another point is, like, how much light enters the
house.
How big are your windows? What light enters? So all that also adds a lot of, it's a deep dive into creating your story.
I agree. And the outdoor is naturally a part of your indoor, right? It's the expanse you'll be looking at.
Exactly.
How beautiful, Sussanne. You're truly an ace.
I try.
You are.
I try. Amazing. Thank you.
So if you had to design a home using only materials from one country, which country would you choose and why? Don't kill me. It's a trick question, but I really want to know your honest answer.
It's a very trick question. I mean, I have to say that it's a very hard question because, again, geography and, there are such, like, our country that we live in, India, is huge on materials and product. And you can, from north to south to east to west, there's a full diversity of unlimited product and materials that one can bring into the, into the story or that you weave together. But I have to say that I would choose the United States of America. Because
that's the most unique answer. I couldn't have imagined.
Because I feel that again, because the country is so wide, Northern America is so wide and so vast, you have this incredible different terrains of geography. If you talk about like states like Utah and Colorado and Arizona, these are basically states that are surrounded by the most beautiful natural stones
and textures
and woods.
Amazing.
And I think that to kind of bring that onto your hard surfaces, to bring a certain amount of like the influence of like even in California, the influence of the Spanish the Spanish architecture that is brought.
It's amazing.
The Moorish and Spanish architecture that is brought in Southern California. There's so much to take from there. There's so much to bring into design. And if you talk about the North, then you have Vermont and all these states that have the most gorgeous terrains of woods that you would never find in our part of the world. So I think that that's your hard finishes. Then if you talk about the cultures, so now Native American culture, there are so many tribes.
It's phenomenal.
I have in fact been to certain reservation camps where certain tribes still exist. And there are these old ladies who are still making
the craft,
their weaving and creating jewelry from silver and
stone as well.
And that same thing they bring into mirrors, into consoles, into
How
trays.
beautiful is that?
So there's a lot of different tribes that bring in that the patterns and the color palettes that bring in the warmth towards. So I definitely feel that as if I had to choose a country, one country to put together, the vastness of choice that I would get would be from the United States of America.
And that's amazing because, usually we always have Europe, Italy, we have different shores of Europe.
I mean, beautiful. Like, I would say Italy is also gorgeous. France is also gorgeous.
But it's so overrated compared to, like, nobody even thinks of that. So it's very creative that you think US is as an option. I agree that
because
it reminds
me much of, like I said, there's so many crafts that nobody really has brought onto the table,
and refresh,
and the way that, like, even there is this blown glass, like how you think of blown glass, you think
as
of Italy, but in California, the blown glass, the techniques that they use and the way they mix the glass,
I didn't know
metal,
that.
It's just insane. So there's a lot of sculptures and there's a lot of artists who use glass and metal and put it together. So I just think that it's a huge kind of canvas
offering,
offering for anybody who's doing up their home
to explore. I think that's something to learn for all of us. And this reminds me, we have a fantastic artist called IMFM and Fernando, and he actually is based out of America. And I remember seeing his work and thinking that, maybe he's from Europe. When I actually explored the work and read more about him, he actually uses the sand and glass to make these insane artworks.
Oh, nice.
And as you said, Arizona, the inspiration on his work I could see is from the mountainous regions in Arizona with that thing. So it's amazing, and I'm so glad you brought this up. It's amazing.
So it's very interesting to
explore.
explore.
I think I gotta do some reading.
We'll take a trip.
Let's do that. With you is the best. You're gonna take me to the best places. I agree. I would like vouch for it now. If you could design a home that captures a specific emotion, like joy or tranquility, which emotion would you choose, and how would you bring it to life?
That's such a sweet, very sweet question. I mean, I definitely think that a home is your home is it's literally your heart. Your heart.
I agree.
Okay. So if you keep your heart nurtured well and give it good energy and, exercise and think of good things, your heart will stay healthy. So the same way a home, when you're designing a home, it's so important, firstly, is to keep it clean and proper. There's a lot of people who design and do all of that, but they don't.
Oh my God.
They don't take the time to keep it organized or clean. And that is the basic, which I think that we as women inculcate in our kids and in our homes, because even they will then do it in their homes, growing up. So the first thing about a home is definitely how you keep your things, how you, the smell. What do you smell when you walk in? What is the touch of your sofa when you sit?
How do you feel?
What is the feeling of the palette that surrounds you with your, the mixture of art and everything? So I think that a home should make you feel warm, should make you feel loved. Should make you feel like you're getting that warm hug.
I agree. So I actually did mention the name of the show is Home as a Warm Hug.
Yes. I've just picked up on that. True.
And it's so true. And I think if your home reflects who you are and it actually reflects you, it also makes you. I think
it's both ways. You're so right. It reflects you and it also makes you. So when you wake up in the morning, oh my God, wow. Now I'm surrounded by good energy again.
Absolutely. So beautiful. Lovely. This brings us to the rapid fire round.
Okay, then.
You did very well so far. If you could give any famous landmark a makeover, which one would you jazz up and why?
The Taj Mahal.
Wow.
Okay.
A truly iconic. Like, you go to the amazing, but that's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
What's an under the radar architectural marvel that you think deserves its moment in the spotlight?
Oh God. Okay. The Zaha Hadid's, that building which she's created, the one, I forgot the name.
Yeah.
But I think that it is such a marvel of our like century,
I
and
agree.
it deserves more, a lot more spotlight and a lot more, like I think a lot more influence. And I think that style should be influencing a lot
so much
more designers.
And I think I know what you're talking about. Again, I don't remember the name, but it's so stunning.
Yeah,
I remember
the way she's created the whole wave of how it moves.
Yeah,
so she's really
lovely. If you could snag a collaboration with any artist from history, who would you invite to your design party?
I think I would invite Picasso.
Wow!
Because I feel that Picasso, he was a breaker. From his time, and he converted his world he was the first person who did Cubism and modernism, where he looked through a prism and saw the world different and painted it like that.
Wow!
And I thought that was such a such a forward way of thinking at his time.
At that time,
to work with him and to design with him. Can you imagine that mind?
Amazing. Yeah.
It'll be too good.
An unconventional design opinion according to you?
An unconventional design opinion
according to you?
Like something that I find
that you think people don't believe in. It's not very common, but you think is a good one, like should be followed.
Oh,
I think you mentioned
the dark spaces.
Yeah, the dark spaces.
So a dark palette being a neutral palette.
Yeah. The new neutral.
The new neutral is the dark neutral.
Lovely.
That's what I think I would really advocate that.
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the riskiest design gamble you've taken that turned out to be a total showstopper?
A risky design gamble. Creating charcoal project.
I know.
At that time when I was doing it, everybody was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Because I was one of the first, I think, in India, and I can say that proudly, to do a conceptual, furniture design house. And to create, we did interior design, creating styles and stories that didn't exist. So
and I remember some of your pieces.
Yeah, and so many people were then followed in my footsteps, and then they did their various things. Today, by the grace of God, it's amazing.
And you made in India
has so much to offer.
Yeah.
But like at that time, we were
nobody
one of the few I think in India we were the first, and then after us, there were a lot of people who followed in.
Started in. Yeah. Lovely. So, if you had to compare your design style to a Bollywood director's filmmaking style, oh, nice. What would that be?
I think I would definitely love Sanjay Leela. I
Sanjay Leela Bhansali. And I resonate your thinking in the style with that.
He's also a very dear friend, and he's bought a lot from us.
Yeah.
And he keeps coming to charcoal. He loves my charcoal. So I feel very happy.
Lovely.
And he's a very intelligent, bright mind.
Yeah.
So I think Sanjay Leela Bhansali's sets resonate a lot of me.
Lovely. And with celebrity home is basically their own personality. No display, no filters, just pure them. Somebody you know and you think is precisely them every part.
I think that lots of people now are extremely.
I would say yours.
Thank you.
What's your answer?
No, I would say that in fact it's refreshing that now people are in that mind frame where they don't really make their homes to impress people.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
celebrity or even like business tycoons, they don't make their homes to impress people.
Yeah.
They make their homes for themselves.
Yeah.
And that is refreshing because when you get that brief from people that we want to do this, but we don't care about maybe like, say, oh, you have to tick off the boxes and create this much of art from these many artists.
Yeah.
That all is not, there are
Which
no
is
rules.
So nice.
There are no rules.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like, and that is refreshing.
Yeah, I agree.
That is refreshing. And I'm seeing that a lot in a lot of young couples, and I'm seeing that a lot in a lot of people that I've met, in art
Which is so real, right?
Which is so real, yeah.
Great. So is there a name still to the question? Are you going to pass?
I'm going to pass.
Okay. Okay, we'll keep it to Sussanne. Sussanne Khan. For me, it's her home. It's completely her personality.
If I pass, then I fail?
No, you're not failing. It's 90% there.
Okay.
With celebrities aboard is the ultimate example of living luxuriously while still being eco-chic. Do you have an answer?
Which celebrity is aboard?
With celebrities aboard is an ultimate example of living luxuriously,
but also
while still being eco-chic. That is the last question. So you can breathe after.
Lot of people, again, I know, who have built their homes in Alibag and all of that, have created very eco-friendly homes. In the fraternity, film fraternity, and they've done it very intelligently. At the same time, it's chic. So I think that I mean, you want me to name?
Yeah, one name. Come on.
No, I mean, there's so
one
many.
name is the last question.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many who've done that. You know?
Then give two. You'll be balancing it.
No. I mean, like, I can't think of. I mean, I don't want to really name.
Okay, pass the name.
Okay, okay.
Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much, Sussanne.
Thank you, Vratika.
Thank you. Such a beautiful
time with you. For inviting me.
Thank you
for making this so much fun.
Yeah, and this is a small mug signing you have to do.
Oh, how cute. Lovely. So sweet.
There you go.